Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm EVscape and welcome back to another video. Before we jump on into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that the next max set from scratch or max cash from scratch video should be tomorrow, and then hopefully the day after that will be the next episode of the pure set from scratch. I know a lot of guys in the comments are waiting out for that one. So tomorrow for the max cash and the day after for the max set. Either that or they'll be inversed, you know, one or the other. We'll see what happens, boys, but hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty guys, so here we are with the solo Saradomin guide. This one's been a long time coming. I said that I was going to do this after I learned how to do this and did my 10 hours of solo, but I never got around to it. But seems like now would be a good time considering the fact that I'm on the Max Cash from Scratch series. I don't have very good gear, and that's the best time to go teach people how to do Sara in bad gear. I feel like a lot of people get upset with me when I do guides in max gear because, you know, not everyone can afford max gear, which makes perfect sense. It's absolutely completely reasonable. People want to see you doing bosses in gear that they probably own. So this is the gear setup that we're going to be going with today. This is the gear setup that you definitely want to be going with for the most part. Obviously, if you can afford it, get the upgrades. Armadillo crossbow for the upgrade on the dragon crossbow. Pegasian boots over the Sara D-hide boots. Crystal shield can turn into a twisted buckler. Glory can obviously turn into a fury or an anguish. Granite ring, you definitely want to upgrade to an archer's ring when you can afford that. However, if you are feeling confident with Saradomin, for the first few trips, I would recommend taking the Thorax plate legs. We're going to be doing it in the Thorax plate legs today, but for the most part, after that, you want to be taking on the regular black D-hide or Saradomin chaps or something like that once you go upgrade to the Pegasians. The only reason we're taking the Thorax today is, as you can see, we've got 306 range defense, and with the black DR, we have 245, so quite a substantial amount more. The range bonus does take a bit of a hit here, but the more we tank, the better we're going to be off here. It's not too much of a difference in terms of ranged accuracy. So this is the setup you want to go with. I will explain the reason why we take the Serpentine helm and not a Thorax helm or something like that very, very soon. Let's go ahead and get onto the inventory setup so you guys can see what to use. I suppose before we go over the inventory setup, we should go over stats you probably want to go over to Saradomin. I would say that 90 range is highly recommended. You can obviously do it with less range, but definitely want to go ahead and get 90 range at least. It's really going to help with the kills, especially if you're soloing and Sara is, you know, quite defensive to range, even though it's the best thing to use. So I definitely go with 90 range. You probably want around 70 defense if it's your first time. Obviously, you can do it with less. People can do it with 1 defense, but I would go with 70 defense as a pretty safe bet there. And you also need 70 agility so that you can get on down to the bottom. You can't actually get into the Saradomin room without 70 agility. Alrighty guys, so this is the inventory setup you want to be going with. You want to have your toxic blowpipe in the inventory as well. The reason we want to have the toxic blowpipe will be explained, but basically we're going to be tagging the minions just as the kill starts so they get envenomed. If you have the Serp helm on with the blowpipe and you do any sort of damage to a minion, it is guaranteed to be venomed. Meaning by the end of the kill, the minions are going to be taken 16s, 18s, 20s, and potentially be almost dead by the time you finish up the kill. So huge to have the blowpipe, plus you can use it for heals towards the end of the kills as well on the minions. You want to have 3 brews. If you are just learning, I would highly recommend swapping out probably 2 Bastion potions and 2 stamina potions for an extra 4 brews. That way you're going to have extra food to be able to learn and see how you go along. But for the most part, once you have learnt this, definitely want to go with 3 brews. So I'd highly recommend first couple trips, dip out a couple staminas, dip out a couple of Bastion potions, and grab 4 more brews. Longer trips, you'll learn more, and then you can slowly take less and less brews over time. The rest in restores, 6 staminas, 6 Bastions. You need the staminas because you're going to be running around the room. Now, it is highly debated whether or not you should use an ecumenical key for Sara or just get kill count. As far as I'm aware, guys, it is much quicker to get an ecumenical key. That being said, if you do want to get kill count, just go ahead and use the blowpipe, and that's fine. It's really not too crazy in terms of difference, but I'm going to take a key because I have one this time. But if you don't have a key, just take that extra restore along. Inside the rune pouch, we have lavas, natures, and waters. This allows us to cast high alchemy and bones to peaches. Now, if you don't have bones to peaches, just take the bones to peaches tabs. It is definitely necessary to have the bones to peaches. So if you don't have it unlocked, you definitely want to chuck a restore back in the bank and take a bones to peaches along. Last thing I want to mention is, obviously, if you can afford it, a twisted bow is best in slot here. In that case, you're not going to be using a shield, and you're going to be better off praying ranged and wearing full mage gear, as in full range gear, black D high bottoms, instead of Barrow's gloves, using van braces and stuff like that. But as for today, we're just going to be going over the cheap guide for people that don't have too much money. So let's go ahead and hook on into a couple of kills, and I'll explain what's going on. Oh, last thing I should mention, guys, is you don't need a Bandos or an Armadillo item, because as you come into the cave, all you can see is Saradomin and Zamorak, and as you walk towards the Saradomin and Zamorak room, the Saradomin room, you only see Saradomin and Zamorak. So a Bandos or an Armadillo item is completely unnecessary here. Now, I think the number one most important thing you need to remember is when you're looking for a world, if you come across a world and there's someone in it, if you just right click, look up, and you see them on the Iron Man high scores, that's practically a free world. All you have to do is walk in there. And Iron Man in multi is a free world, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. Jesus Christ, please don't. It was a joke. Alrighty, guys, as you approach the room with your ecumenical key, you want to pray mage and rigor before you step in. You can go ahead and brew up to 115 hit points, but it's not super necessary. Then what you want to do, as you can see in the clip, is go ahead and aggro Zilyana. And as you hit her, basically all you're going to be doing is running away. Hit, run away, hit, run away. And if you do this properly, she will keep her distance and she will not be able to attack you, as well as the melee minion will not be able to attack you. So the only thing in the room that is doing damage, if you're using this method, the only thing doing damage to you will be the ranged minion. And as I mentioned previously, we have a massive ranged defense. So it's not going to be doing much damage to us at all. The damage that it does do is going to be negated by the Bones to Peaches and the Monkfish drops that the minions do. And the minions are going to die pretty quickly after the boss is killed, because you have the Blowpipe and the Serpentine Helm on. So now that we've gone over what to do when you first step into the room, it's pretty simple. Hit, run, hit, run. We'll go through a kill once you're in the room and you've already killed Zilyana and the minions. So this square that I'm standing on right here, you can take a screenshot, pause it if you need to take a screenshot so you can mark this tile for yourself. This is the square that you want to be standing on if you want to progress and move into the flicking method, but it also works very well for a square to start on for this method as well. So just mark your tile here, start the kill. As the spawn happens, you want to chuck your quick prayers on, mage pray and rigor, wait for Bree to spawn, go ahead and throw a dart in, run past Starlight and throw a dart in there. That way they're both venomed. On your way up, you can throw a bolt into Zilyana and then get one dart into the other minion there, Growler, and then you can go ahead and throw a bolt back into Zilyana. And now all you have to do is exactly the same as the last method, just run around the room and attack her back. Now, on the south to north walls, you can get 2 hits in, and if you're quick enough on the east to west walls, you can also get 3 hits in. If you do this properly, like I said, by the end of the kill, as you can see here, the minions have taken quite a bit of damage already, and you can pretty much just see them off nicely, and it's not too much. If you're decent enough, you can actually try and flick the minions after the melee minion's dead. You can flick between range and mage, as you can see me doing here, but it is not necessary in the slightest. Now, the last thing that we need to talk about, yes, Saradomin is that simple. This is the last thing that we need to talk about. The last thing we need to talk about is that you want to save your blowpipe specs for the mage minion. It is the weakest to range, so if you go ahead and save your blowpipe specs for that, you're much more likely to hit. After the kill is done, pick up all the bones, use your bones to peaches spell, eat them up, get back to full health, and get ready to go ahead and start the next kill. At the start of every kill, pretty much you want to be going ahead and sipping that stamina potion and sipping a bastion potion. There's a reason you bring 6 of each. You want to smash them down before each trip. And if every 8 minutes you are out of prayer, you can go ahead and use the altar in the back of the room, the west side of the room, to recharge your prayer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is literally all you need to know about solo Saradomin. It is probably one of the easiest God Wars dungeon bosses to solo, because literally all you have to do is run away from her and she cannot hit you. Just keep running. Only one thing in the room can damage you, and you're going to have high enough defensive bonuses that it's not going to damage you that hard. So that's it for solo Saradomin. So there you have it, guys. The Noob's Guide to Solo Saradomin. As I mentioned quite a few times already, it's a super easy boss once you get into it. It might take you a couple of trips to get used to the movement, but once you're used to the movement, you can tank it, no worries. There is another method in which you flick range and mage minions during the kill, but that is quite advanced, so we're not going to go over it in this video. This is a Saradomin guide for noobs after all, and I don't think noobs are going to be looking to do anything crazy like that. So we're just going to keep it at this for now. If you did enjoy the video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. Take it easy. Yo, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode in EV365. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm putting out a new video every single day this year. Don't forget to click that bell icon as well so you get notified when it comes out. If you guys really enjoyed a video, you could also leave a like. That really helps out the channel to get the videos in suggested, and it's really good for channel growth. On top of that, if you are enjoying the videos and want to see some of these things get made live as they happen, I stream 5 days a week over on Twitch. Crazy stuff like this goes down very often. Boys!
Oh no, I know that noise. Oh, you have two!
I'm safe,
oh,
I'm safe,
safe.
I'm safe.
How much cash is that?
124 mil. Holy fuck. Muscles.
Hey, disgusting.
Did you just fart?
Fucking disgusting.
And if you just want to keep up with my day-to-day wheelings and dealings, you can also follow me over on Twitter at EVscapeOfficial. All links will be in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Take it easy.
Oh my god, I bet you got killed by a fucking bear. Oh my god.